Guys, 1 year ago when I started this channel, my first ever video was the Road to 20 country streak. Eventually, I achieved that one not too long after I started the series. Then, more recently, I brought it back. We had the 50 country streak, and that one took me a couple of months to beat, but I finally did that recently. And I thought I was done with it, but I saw a couple of comments from some people I like, and they said, 100 country streak, is it possible? That is going to be a seriously tough challenge, considering I only just scraped in with 50 for that challenge. I am a little worried about how long this one's going to take. But guys, I'm going to give it a go. So let's just get straight into the first one here, which appears to be somewhere in Japan, and I would say fairly southern, so let's go for that. And okay, so near Kyoto there. The next one looks Maltese, and we're driving left-hand side of the road. So yeah, all this kind of white brick building would suggest Malta. And we are, of course, 10 kilometers away. It's a very small country. This one looks more Argentinian. We got a black Google car. Yeah, with the double yellow lines, we should be in Argentina rather than Uruguay. In Uruguay, they would have the white dashes inside the yellow lines. Interesting little bollards there, but yes, relatively confident that this one is Arg, and we are close. This is good. Okay, next one here. We've got blue strips on the plate, so somewhere in Europe. Blue strips on both sides of the plate, and I see a good number of French cars in a row here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is looking to be the kind of round when we have double blue strips that are French rather than Italian. So we've also got some French language here. So yep, that pretty much all but locks it in for France. I'm going to say we're somewhere north. Let's go here. Yeah, it is northern, but just near Belgium instead. Okay, so this one looks Colombian for the 5th round of the game. Long antenna is a little confusing, so maybe this is Albania. This mountain really looked Colombian, but yeah, with the long antenna, it wouldn't make sense for South America, so I think we're going to be in Albania. Do we have any sky rifts? Only slight ones. So, Albania or Montenegro, PR13. I think I've had this round before, but can't remember where it would have been. So let's take a look at the language here as well. It's actually kind of hard to make out. Okay, so let's take a look at some further clues here. White street signs. Can't really make out the number plate there. Definitely could be Albania. I think that's my top choice here, so let's go for that. And it is right down south there. Interesting. Normally you would see sky rifts down the south, but we get 5 countries in a row. So let's continue on to the next seed here. Imagine if we got it first try. That would actually be insane. Anyway, here we're driving left-hand side of the road. So this should be South Africa or Eswatini. One of the two. Definitely feels more South African to me, but we've got to check this out anyway. Could be Mbabane. It's a decent sized city. This really could be Eswatini. It's the type of country where you can fail a country streak, Eswatini. Okay, so given that that's a fact, we're going to go in here and look for any decent-sized towns in Eswatini that are actually flat enough for this. So Big Bend might be big enough, but we have to be... So Manzini, I think we're probably in Manzini. That's my biggest thought here. It gets flat there, whereas Mbane has mountains around it, or at least tall hills. And so I think we are in Manzini rather than South Africa. Now, the houses could be considered a little strange, I mean, for either country, to be honest, but I'm going to go for Manzini. Let's see if I'm right. And it ends up just being in Johannesburg. Okay, first round here feels Bulgarian off the bat. These tall buildings definitely seem Bulgarian as well, so let's just send it in quickly. I like to go quickly for the first couple of rounds here. That one is there. This one is European again. Kind of interesting here. I think Turkey. Yes, it is Turkey. These are Turkish-style signs. They kind of have this, like, black arrow, kind of similar to French ones on the end there. So let's go over here. Ends up being rather close, actually. Pretty good for Turkey. This one's in Australia. You get these blur on either side of the road on this highway here, and it tends to be around here, or like all the way down here, you get this blur. So let's go there. Ends up being 65 kilometers away. Now, we would have failed our state streak, but it's okay. Next one appears to be somewhere in Taiwan. These are the Taiwanese, like, guard things that you have on all their poles. I don't know how to say it better than guard things, but yeah. Okay, this one is interesting. Should be like Spanish, I would say. Yeah, so this plate is white. I think it's got a blue strip, but it's kind of hard to tell. But the longer I look at it, the more I do like Spain. Yeah. So where's the sun? The sun is to the south, so we are in the northern hemisphere. That's good at least. And this could be Greece, you know? I've heard that, like, someone commented on one of my last ones that Greek poles are very tall. And this one is quite tall, I would say. These ones all down the street seem to be quite tall. So maybe it is Greece. I would love to see some writing here. It almost... Okay, that one seems to lack a blue strip. So yeah, maybe I do prefer Greece here. Blue field and sign is also interesting. But yeah, some of these plates are actually lacking blue strips, so I'm going to go Greece rather than Spain here. And we are just correct. It's all the way up here. That's why it kind of didn't give me a Greek vibe off the bat. I was going to say the buildings kind of look Bulgarian, so we get the 5 streak off the bat here. Pretty good. You know, playing pretty well, I think. So this one is interesting. We got rifts this time. Pretty significant sized rifts. And we got yellow on the plates though, so that should indicate we are in Portugal. Unfortunately, they're phasing out the yellow, so you got to keep that in mind for Generation 4 coverage, but yeah, they'll still be there for many years to come, I imagine. Here we have an interesting one, bit of blue on the plates, so I think Bolivia. Because of that. And then when you see this, like, interesting. Okay, so yeah, painted white at the bottom, that does fit for Bolivia. Just trying to make sure there's no Brazilian poles here. I'm pretty sure none of these are actually Brazilian poles. And as for the language, we are... Oh, that C has got a little hook underneath it, so maybe, I think that's a Portuguese thing. So let's take a look at the plates here. Yeah, black writing. Interesting. So I thought they had a little bit of blue on there, but maybe this is Brazilian after all. Okay, so let's take a further look here. So let's look for some more Portuguese language. Yeah, it is Portuguese after all, so glad I wasn't too quick on the uptake there. This one has some red on the number plates, so pretty sure this will just be Belgium. Let's go right there. And yeah, it's a nice guess. So we are Gucci with that. Next one, we got Cambodian flags everywhere. We don't have to think about this one too much. We are pretty good there as well. This one should be Brazil somewhere. Yeah, definitely look like Brazilian type hills. Just gotta make sure it's not Mexico. With the dots on top of the pole, this will be Brazil, and there's even a section pole there, so yeah, you can be pretty sure. And these trees are the Parana trees, I think. They're the ones in the state of Parana, so let's guess there. And yeah, it was in the next state over, but yeah, we were nearby. So that's 10 in a row. 2 more difficult Brazils, you could say, but the rest of the seed was quite easy there. Let's continue on. Ooh, this one feels Botswanan, I would say. We don't have any Google car, though. The sun is to the north, so Southern Hemisphere. I don't think this is South Africa, so we can just go for Botswana. Let's go somewhere up in the north here. Kind of reminds me of the northern area. And yeah, it is. Nice. Okay, next one is looking to be Taiwanese. Again, we have those Taiwanese poles, which you probably know about by now if you've been watching my channel for a while, or any Geoguessr YouTubers, to be honest. This one, we are driving right. This pole looks like a Brazilian pole, but it doesn't have the sections in it, so I think with the white road lines, that would lead us to being somewhere in Chile, and I would say near Santiago for this one. And we are even closer to Santiago than I thought. Basically in Santiago, really. These are the Japanese versions of the pole markings, and we got low cam as well, so let's go Japan. And pretty far away, but that's okay. Now we have the Guatemalan car, so yeah, not too much to think about here. The single yellow line is good for Guatemala as well. It's one of those South American countries that uses it, and we're pretty close as well. Great, so 22.5, just a bad Japan. Otherwise, all these scores were pretty good for that round. So let's head into the next one. We are on 15, yeah. So this one is going to be... What's that plate over there? Interesting, yellow plate. Okay, let's take a look around here. So, is this... white plate here. We got ladder poles. I think it is France, but got to take a further look here. I mean, the old plates in France are yellow, so maybe that is an old French plate, or maybe we're near Luxembourg. Either is possible, I think. But yeah, I think this is a French pole and all that bit, so yeah, I guess the only concern is Belgium, but yeah, I think all the buildings kind of look more French to me. All in all, we could be wrong here, but I'm gonna go for it. Let's see. Okay, so it was just central France. So yeah, the yellow plate, just a bit of a bait there. This one, look at this interesting pole. I've never quite seen a black pole with so many interesting little intricate knobs on it. This one with a very poor quality of road, but we have the strike through the L here, so we should actually be in Poland. And actually, look, we've also, if we didn't know that, we've also got this like kind of thin bordered yellow giveaway sign. So yeah, all Poland there. And okay, interesting. I was expecting it to be maybe further north. Okay, here's one of the first hard ones of the seed. This one's going to be in the Canaries or the Azores. I think Canaries because it feels a little drier. So yeah, let's go Canaries. But if we're not here, then we're going to be in Funchal or the Azores. Yeah, because we're only on 17, I'm just going to go for Canaries. I think the climate reminds me more of there. But I guess we'll find out. We'll find out right now. It was over on this one. Good to know. And so we have those kind of we had like a bunch of telescopes. So yeah, they're the magic telescopes. Good to know. Next one we have a Turkish one. We have Turkish language here with the S with the hook underneath, so pretty easy there. And the next one is Thai with the Thai flag. They're very patriotic in Thailand, so let's go up north, shall we? Is fairly far north. We are on 20 now, so we are already a fifth of the way there, technically speaking. But let's see what we got going on next. This one is somewhere in Malaysia, double whites plus this peninsula sticker on the pole, so we can send it in there. Relatively close to KL. Ooh, interesting. This one's one of those ones where South Africa and Australia can actually pull a little trick on you. I think this is Australia. Yeah, I think this little white thing is something you often see in Australia. It's got like a yellow sticker on it. So I think this is Australia. It was just a bit of a confusing one. Also, the splat on the screen is relatively common in New South Wales Gen 2, I would say. So I think that's where we're going to be, funnily enough. So I could see this being like south of Tamworth in the hills over here. Or we could be like near Wagga Wagga, around there. Also, it's not Wagga Wagga, it's Wagga Wagga. The A becomes an O. So let's go. I'm pretty sure we're correct here. Surely we are. Okay, it's near Wagga Wagga indeed. So yeah, there's a couple of places that look like that. We got it. Ooh, this one's interesting. When I was looking this way, it looked like the road markings were actually white, but turning around we can see that they're yellow. So I believe this is Mexico. Let's identify where the sun is. Sun is more so to the south, so yep, definitely like Mexico best here. Just gonna take a look at this pole quickly. Ooh, it kind of looks like a Brazilian pole. So that would be the only other option here with this Google car, this white one. So then, no, these ones, well, the longer I look at it, the more I'm confused. This one looks more generic, and then this one in the background almost has like a Brazilian look to it. So how accurate is this sun really? No, the sun is not actually accurate. It's pretty much directly west there. Because if you look at it like this, it looks like it's more to the north. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty unuseful. So then, this pole. I could definitely see it being either country, that's for sure. The fact that it's dashed rather than straight may indicate Brazil more. What's this pole about? Okay. Why? Okay, this reddish soil would obviously perhaps fit better with Brazil, but the white sand maybe reminded me more of Mexico. But yeah, given that we have so much red soil here, I think Brazil has to be our go for here. I'm glad I worked out that the sun was basically midday, so let's go for it. Yeah, very clean, very clean. Okay, good. Next one, we are in, just trying to work it out based on this sign alone. BR 101, we're actually in Brazil. Wow, was not expecting that, but we can actually see some hills in the background. Yeah, so I wonder where this one is. It's certainly very green. I could imagine it just being in the south somewhere. Let's go here, right here. No idea where it's going to be. Okay, yeah, it's relatively near there, so that's good. Next one, ooh, like very red outside of the sign here, so I think it's going to be Belgium or Netherlands. Belgian plate here, so that's very good. Belgium and Netherlands, I think they're two of the other countries that don't have a white border, or a very small white border on their signs like this. So yeah, that's Belgium. Pretty sure here. Let's go near the border. Yeah, right. I thought it would be near the border. Kind of had like a Dutch vibe to me. We're on 25, guys, so very clean, very clean. And surprisingly, the Australia guest there was the worst one off the seat. Okay, here's the next one. Oh, double yellows. This is actually the first US-Canada toss-up I think we've had so far. So we've been relatively lucky in that respect. That's probably why we still have this streak. These kind of wooden poles remind me more of Canada, of course. But let's not count out the other countries just yet. Okay, these shields are interesting. That might look like an American shield, but it's kind of too far away to tell. This sign, I feel like that there might be something to this sign, but I can't remember either. Okay, that's pretty much all we have to work with. So I think it's Canada. I do think it's Canada. Again, the soil kind of has a reddish tinge to it, so I'm going to go Prince Edward Island, because that's what people say. Ends up just being in New Brunswick, so that's fine. That was the first difficult, well, that was one of the first difficult rounds, apart from the Canaries one. This one we have a long-sided O. Okay, on the stop sign, on the 30 sign here. Okay, blue strip on one side of the plate here, no blue strip there. Yeah, okay, so I was thinking Slovakia here. I think they have the long side of the O in Slovakia and Czechia. I think it's Czechia or Slovakia. We have a Skoda there as well, I think. And I think that might be Skoda as well, possibly. Not too sure. All in all, I think it reminds me a little more of Czechia, because often you get this kind of like similar style Austrian kind of architecture here, but it could be near Bratislava as well, which is kind of the scary thing. Okay, so let's be rational here. Any like emblems or anything like that? Certainly a hilly town. It could be in Bratislava, to be honest, but I think Czechia has always struck me as more likely for this round. So, can I glean anything else here? It's a little bit annoying just because there's such little to work with. Now, this one could be Slovenia as well. Has to be one of the three though, I think. No language, it's a little annoying. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna go Czechia here. It was my first thought, and nothing I've seen has really convinced me otherwise. I mean, the hills in the background are decent sized, but nothing that would preclude it from being Czechia. So then, I guess we're probably going to lose this streak on one of these classic 50-50s. Let's go for this. Ends up being Czechia. Beautiful. Okay. You need those ones to go your way, and on this occasion it does. We've got what appears to be an Italian short plate here. Do we have an antenna? No antenna, interestingly. But I think this one is indeed Italy. One of the only countries in Europe to use the short plates on the front of their cars is Italy. And yeah, the black back of the signs, that's also an Italian thing. So I was thinking somewhere quite far south here, maybe even Sicily. Let's go in Syracuse. Okay, it was Sicily, just all the way on the other side, but that's still a good result. And the next one, lacking front plate, so immediately thinking Canada here. And yeah, we're speaking French as well. We've got the array stop sign and saying Nord and Sud. So let's go in Quebec. And we're rather close as well. Fantastic. Bit of rain coverage here. We are driving left-hand side of the road, so should be Britain. I think that's a yellow plate. Let's take a look at some of the other ones here. Yeah, no other plates to speak of, but this one is a British-style warning sign. In Ireland, for whatever reason they use yellow ones. So because we've got the red outline, we are good to go for England here. Maybe Wales. I like Wales best. Ends up being Scotland, so at least I didn't guess England. But we're on 30 now, so we're approaching some PB territory here if I get past 50. And very nice. This is the exact streak after I started recording. So this one, no Google car. This is a Thai light bulb. I'm just trying to confirm that this wouldn't be anywhere in Laos. So then, we've got a white number plate here, so it's not a yellow number plate. This one also appears to be white. It's kind of got like a yellowish tinge, but I think that's just from the yellow car, you know? Yeah. Can we see the steering wheel? We cannot. So I think I'm just going to have to trust this Thai lamp post and go for Thailand here. And let's just guess next to Vientiane for good measure. And yeah, ends up being that kind of latitude, so that's why it was giving me a little trouble. Here we have what appears to be a Romanian pole, I would say, with a yellow sticker painted white at the bottom. So, feeling pretty good about Romania on this one. Yep, feeling very good about it, actually, with the kind of vibe of the round as well. Let's go over here. Ends up being on the other side of the country. Okay, yellow outside lines. Ooh, interesting pole here. Almost looks like a holy pole. We've got a... can't even tell if that's yellow or white. Black car with no antenna should indicate that we're in Jordan here. And that's an Amman taxi, the green and yellow one there. So let us guess in Amman to get those points. Yes, sir. What's the next one going to look like? Ghana. We haven't had too many easy African rounds just yet, but that is the Ghana tape. Let's go near Tamale here. Let's go here. Why not? Ends up being 54 kilometers away, very clean. Okay, next one. Feeling Bolivian, but could be Peruvian. Yep, she's got traditional dress on, so it should be one of the two. We've got the white car, so Bolivian still makes most sense to me, I would say. Bricks are interesting. Okay, Patana, Edgar Patana, Alcalde. So I bet that's the place name, but I've not heard of it. So maybe we should give a quick look for Alcalde. But I think that might be a little bit of blue on the plates. I was wrong about that last time, but I think it might be this time. Can we see any other cars? No. Okay, so electricity counters. It doesn't look like the Peruvian one. I'm just looking at some of the others. Yeah, I don't think that the one I saw there was a Peruvian one. So I think the more I look at it, the more I am feeling confident about Bolivia here. So what was the name of that place? Alcalde. Maybe someone's tearing their hair out right now knowing where it is, but for me, it doesn't ring a bell. It really doesn't. Which I wish it did. But yeah, I could easily see us being somewhere near La Paz or somewhere around like that. Kind of overcast coverage. What more is there to say, really? I think this is not a Peruvian electricity counter, in which case perhaps it is a Bolivian one. And look at that mountain in the background as well. So we're high altitude here, so yeah, it could be something like that. Yeah, let's go for it. I like it. Ends up being in La Paz itself, so we get 22.9, and we move to the 35 country streak. That one was a little bit more of a difficult streak, a little bit more of a difficult seed, but, you know, we're going good. This one's Tunisia, and there's the follow car. Just to confirm, I think near Tunis could make sense here. Maybe a little further south. Yeah, a little further south. Next one's Korean. Quite a nice looking Korean round, really. Very green. I was almost thinking of Jeju here, but it's probably just here or around here. Yeah, so southern, but not too southern. This one we have Turkish language again here. Yeah, so we have the kind of a lake or ocean to our north here. Let's see it being around here. It doesn't feel super mountainous to our south though, does it? Yeah, so kind of lightish hills, which is interesting. Not really sure what part that would put us in. Maybe something like that. See it? Ends up being just the other side. Okay, so you get some lighter hills around here. Not too much to say there. We got French bollards this time. It feels very far south. Yeah, but we're all in French, so I don't think we have to think about this one too hard. Interesting pole here. Yeah, sometimes you get those big cube poles. Yep, just southern, near Marseille and Montpellier. Single yellow line here, but this one should be somewhere in Japan. This is the Japanese Locan car. Yep, so let's just go for that. It's always nice to get these freebies. We're up to 40 now, so things are starting to heat up. You know, we're getting towards halfway. Which would, I mean, if I got this first try, that would just be truly insane. Who knows, world record. I can come for it, why not? I think the world record is now 305, so pretty crazy. Puts it into perspective, because I consider myself a decently strong player, but that's got to be tough getting 305 in a row. Anyway, this one feels more Canadian, maybe. Trying to work that out at the moment. We got front plates, which is perhaps concerning. Oof, supremely unconfident with this one. No yellow road marking or anything. It's nothing, guys. It's nothing. I can't see a single thing to help me here. Okay. It just gives me too much of a Canadian vibe, I think. I think I will go for Ontario here. It just seems very flat though, doesn't it? Maybe around here. It's kind of, well, no, it's just a lot of cul-de-sacs. I'm going to say Canada. It just looks more like Canada to me. I'm going for it. There we go. We lose it on 40. Unlucky there, guys. Well, hope you guys enjoyed watching me struggle there. That makes sense for Maryland. It is a little hilly here, that's for sure. I should have just gone US. I don't know why I convinced myself to go Canada there. But, guys, thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. I am going to enjoy doing this one. 40 off the bat seems like a pretty good effort, I would say, especially considering that was my first take. The right seed is out, or the right set of seeds is out there for us somewhere, I'm sure, and it's going to be exciting when I get that 100. I mean, that's an achievement right there. So guys, thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. I'll see you guys in a video very soon, and yeah, till then, goodbye.